And we're live. That's Gigi's live coverage of Grand Prix Columbus 2012. Sheldon Menery along with Marshall Sutcliffe in the booth. We're going to see another exciting match. Josh Leyton, Steve Guillerm. Steve playing the, what do we call that?
Red, white, blue, tempo, aggro control, something like that.
Against Josh Leyton and a copy of the deck that we saw in the last round, piloted by Luis Scott Vargas.
Yeah.
Kiki combo.
I mean, we can't call it Nyapod because there's another color.
Because there's another color in it.
Yeah.
We could call
Naya
it
Blue Pod.
Crazy Pod.
Crazy Pod it is. This thing is definitely crazy. But
oh, there's the handshake.
Oh, the pre-match handshake.
Yeah.
All right.
Good sportsmanship.
We have seen a lot of good sportsmanship this weekend.
I'm happy. I think we've created a culture of good sportsmanship in
I believe
Magic.
so too.
You know, from the last 7 or 8 years, sort of cleaning up the game and just not being willing to accept sketchy behavior.
Yeah.
And that comes first. Sure, the judges and the DCI itself have an impact there, but the players also have an impact.
And the players are the ones that have a lot of the impact because they're on the ground floor.
Right. This social pressure is really. There's a shot of Steve Guillerm.
Yep. And it looks like has he even played a land yet?
Nope.
All right. So Steve is probing. Wow.
He's got two of them.
He's got two of them. Okay. If this happened to me, I would think that we'd be seeing Storm. But
interesting.
Yeah.
So it's the players on the ground
Yeah.
and just creating a culture of honesty and sportsmanship. And it's basically been, if you're sketchy, we're not going to hang around with you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely frowned upon.
And
we've seen that today. You know, we saw two players speed up when the clock was getting low to make sure that they could finish their match. Right. We saw Gerard Fabiano call a judge for something that was detrimental to him in his own match. We see these guys being friendly to each other before. It's great. All right, turn one, Birds of Paradise off of a Grove of the Burn Willows for Josh. And we're going to do a little fetch in here for Steve.
Steve is a Pro Tour player.
Okay.
He's
Where's he from? Oh, he's from Boston. Okay.
Probably not one of those Johnny-come-lately Red Sox fans.
The Ben SW seems to know everybody.
Yeah. So he fetches up the Sacred Foundry.
You see a lightning bolt. There's another one of those promo bolts. I really love that picture.
Bird. He's
going to find out if he needs to again. All right, so we have land, Restoration Angel, land. That is a Wall of Roots and an Eternal Witness, I believe.
That is, the kind of hidden one was.
That was an Eternal
Ewit, yeah.
You've seen more Ewits in your time than I have.
Yes.
But I have seen them.
I'm going to go 13.
All right.
Oh, the things I have seen in my time, Marshall Sutcliffe.
Oh, I'm sure you've seen a lot. I like hearing about it, though. All right. Cracking more fetches.
Well, I think Steve's pretty much aware that his life total is not significant until.
Yeah, I mean, is it? You know, like we were talking about it, how, what is this guy? Helix the bird?
Yep.
Helix your bird. You know, I mean, Josh's deck can put a surprising amount of heat down. I mean, although it's not right now, and he has seen his hand, and he doesn't have a hand that can do that currently.
Right.
So
I probably see the Wall of Roots here,
Game 1, 17.
which is bolt-proof for the time being, anyway.
Yep. Also, Steve has gained 2 life off of the Grove of the Burns Willow so far. So.
Yep. Well,
that's one shock land, you know, worth of life. All right, Wall of Roots comes down.
Oh, that's my favorite. That's my favorite island.
The Bucket Island?
Yeah, I love that.
Bucket Island's awesome.
I mean, if the one Zendikar
Upkeep. Path to Exile that.
Oh, that's important.
So it's a useful tool in Josh's deck, and he's trading it off for a tapped land here for the turn. So Josh isn't heartbroken. He still gets to use mana. And, we've seen the mana base for Josh and Luis's deck. It's a little thin, but still, it's actually not that bad. I talked to Luis about it, about the mana base, and he goes, well, he said it's 1 Steam Vents away from the regular mana base.
Right.
But the regular mana base is also a little bit vulnerable. You know, so. All right, I think another wall of roots here. You gain a life. Steve is running away with this thing. All right, wall of roots.
Is that fine? That's fine.
But wall of roots does a whole lot more, and he has the steam vents too, in Josh's deck than just make mana.
Right. Well, it blocks early stuff, and it makes mana. It potentially makes mana every turn.
Yes.
So my turn, your turn.
Yep.
It makes
it
mana.
also combos really well with Chord of Calling, make a mana, and tap it, so it makes 2 mana towards the chord.
And effectively, both of them green since it's a
Yeah,
green dude.
which is important. And then on top of it, it gets potted away eventually and
Right.
becomes something much scarier. So I can see why Steve would prioritize that. Now, Steve has still done nothing in the realm of pressure. Now, remember, Steve's deck is a deck that has 8 one-drop aggressive creatures. Like, his deck wants to get off to a very quick start, and he has done nothing. Now, even though he's relatively stable here, Josh Leyton has like 5 or 6 cards in his hand, and Steve can sit there and hold them off. But when you're holding when you have 4 remands in your deck, like, remand doesn't get it done in this spot.
Right.
You need to be doing something active to your opponent when you remand them. Glenelender Archmage. It's got to be funny to be in Steve's seat and just be like, what is actually going on here?
Now, looks like, other than Bird's Paradise, Josh already has his only blue source
That's
on
true.
the table. He's got the seam vents.
That is true.
There's a good shot of Steve. What? Yeah.
I think the question is, what is that doing in your deck?
Yeah, you sure you didn't pick up somebody else's cards?
Yeah. Do all Boston guys wear hats like that? Is that just a Boston thing?
Yeah.
We have confirmation from Ben that yes, all Boston guys wear hats. Like they all want to be newsies.
Or hacks.
Yeah. Yeah, well, in this case, probably the latter. All right, the steam vents. So are we going to see a cryptic command? Does he have those?
I don't. Does it look like it? No. No.
So why is it coming into play untapped, I wonder?
So you want to cast Geist? No.
There's a path. Oh, Snapcaster path?
Snapcaster for Helix.
But Helix is fairly unimpressive here, right? I mean, it just brings it back. Path it. Yeah, you want to path it. All right, get rid of it. And he probably breathes a sigh of relief because Josh just have an Arid Mesa up, and he doesn't know if Josh has like another Scalding Steam Vents in his deck, or what just happened there. So, is that the head judge back there?
That is Chris Richter sitting on the stage. Fine level 4 judge from Madison, Wisconsin.
I like to give those guys a little shout out when we see them on camera.
Yeah, we talked about Chris earlier. He's the one that took over for me on Ask the Judge on Star City back in 2004 or 5.
Yeah.
The ancient days.
Yeah, I don't know why he took the damage there, but he must have had another plan.
Do you have a...
He has a lightning bolt, so Snapcaster gets blocked, he can do it. Unfortunately, Josh is at 20, so Josh doesn't have a huge incentive to block here, I don't think.
Go ahead.
And the combo, this combo deck with a pile of mana is also scary. It's just scary.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm not
Right,
killing.
so-
I'm not killing you, and I'm letting you put all these resources in play.
Yeah.
It means I'm just gonna end up on the wrong end of.
Yeah, depending on how many cards he has. All right, so end step, Josh fetches. Or I don't know actually when this is. When is this happening?
Yeah, that had to be in step.
Okay. So it looks like Snapcaster just decided to stay back.
Yep.
Maybe he was worried about getting Restoration Angeled or something.
Maybe he didn't want to. Yeah. Maybe he thought the mana is not significant, and he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to represent the bolt.
Just free roll it. I mean,
Creatures.
pretty standard just to attack anyway. Like, you can just say, yeah, you got me. I don't have anything. All right. Delver of Secrets off the top. Foil Bucket Island into foil Delver. That's classy. I like this guy. He's got some style. Now he just needs to transform that thing and start getting flying over that wall of roots. All right. Is Restoration Angel going to come in at any point here? Yep. Right about now.
Right about EOT.
Why wouldn't you use the Wall of Roots and just reset it? But, all right.
Sure.
Path to exile that. Wow. Is that
That's
the third path
well,
that's been resolved here?
Yeah, he's played 2 and flashed it back once from Snapcaster. Card is so good.
It's so good. I think Path is ridiculous. I think Snapcaster is ridiculous. I love both of those cards.
They're aggressively costed.
Yes, they are.
Although every time I write aggressively costed in an article, word spell checker tells me costed is not a word.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of magical words that don't actually count.
Arid Mesa from Josh. We saw in his opening grip it was pretty
Delver.
land heavy.
Yeah, and he's got 3 extra ones.
Now he's coming in with both guys.
Yeah, I mean, I think that he has a good incentive to do that.
Does Josh even care about Wall of Roots making mana anymore?
I think it's more
8.
along the lines of the pod factor.
True.
What are we doing here? Court of Calling.
Court of Calling, probably.
You can't tap your wall without doing a Court of Calling.
Oh, okay. Court of Calling. I got it.
What just happened?
You can't. Well, I think Steve assumed Josh was getting mana and thought that you had to tap it or something. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Court of Calling. Remand. Send it back to his hand. Now, he has some pressure here, but not enough. I mean, Josh is still at 16 life even after that hit.
Yeah, this deck without a turn 1 drop.
It has a much harder time.
I mean, I think the curve drops off significantly.
Yeah.
I mean, playing one of those 1 drops turn 2, it just isn't the same.
Yeah. And he had it on turn 4 or 5.
Yeah. And still hasn't transformed it. Although he should be able to set it up now.
So Josh did actually, though, tap that wall instead of using the mana. So, like, he couldn't block. He might not have anyway, though.
Well, one thing that LSV ran into that Josh is not going to have to worry about
A Bloody Moon?
is Blood Moon, yeah.
Okay.
Although Thalia might come in. So Steve's going to try to lay some more pressure on. The thing about this deck, though, it doesn't really have card draw.
Which one?
The combo deck.
No.
So
It has one.
Yeah, it has the Wall of Omens.
Wall of Omens. But that's not.
So once the hand gets low, he's got to get in the sort of top deck mode to get something worthwhile. And that Court of Calling was a good start, but
I see an image as well in Josh's hand. Maybe he Court of Callings and then images the Snapcaster and records of Callings. Can you do that?
sure. Well,
Like, can you put X into it?
it has flashback now.
Okay. So you could do it for 0.
Yeah.
Unexciting.
Unexciting. Unless you're playing Ornithopter combo.
Yeah. All right. Court of Calling.
Results.
1,
Put it
2,
on the
3,
stack.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Well,
1, 2,
I think it's just 4. Yeah. Because he didn't use the Wall of Roots, the counter from it. So, Restoration Angel intact. Now he just needs to find a way to get a Kiki-Jiki and he can just win. As it sits, Restoration Angel's pretty good. 3 for a Birthing Pod, maybe? No. Oh, for a Court of Calling.
How about that?
Yeah, I mean, he can pick it up, but the one's right on top that he's going to grab. That sets him up for next turn.
Yeah.
Oof. And again, you know, the slow start from Steve. Oh, another path, really? Oh, Bolt. Okay, I mean, I don't know how much good that does. So, transform Delver. Play a Serum Visions, and you better hope that that's a path, I guess.
Yeah, that seems like basically his only out.
I mean, he can counter. The problem again, though, is that Steve's deck is designed to be able to be putting pressure on, and if he's not putting pressure on, then his spells just get a lot worse. Top? Oh, it must be something really good. He's just going to send them both in because he knows that Josh can't block with the Angel. He can block with the wall if he wants, but Josh does block with the Angel. So he's exposing it to a Lightning Bolt here or a Helix maybe. But Josh just says, sure, 2-for-1 me. No problem. All right, 2-for-1 you, I meant to say.
Please head up to the Grand Prix stage. If you are in a match, please come up to the Grand Prix stage after your match. Branch Staten, Derek.
You see Josh already picking up his Angel. He knows that it's not long for this world. That is a sleight of hand. All right, so he already knows which one he's taking because he knows both of the cards. Although if he was just going to do that, when you just get one deeper.
Yeah, so why does Josh block there with it?
I don't know.
With the Restoration Angel?
Let's see what else he has in his hand. Can't see. He might just have, wait, okay, we know he has a Court of Calling because he got that bag.
Right.
Yeah, I'm really not sure why. Josh is tanking out what to do on this turn. He looks pretty calm, doesn't he? He's just...
He always looks calm.
Yeah, I guess so.
He can be crushing you or getting blown out. Same look on his face. He's not going to give you anything.
I like that. So he still has the image. I don't know what his third card is, though. Oh, it's an Angel. Restoration Angel. Restoration Angel.
And there's 5 mana.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take a counter off. Make a Court of Calling for a Kiki-Jiki. So it's like Spell Pierce is the only thing he could possibly be worried about, and I think he knows that that's not happening here. Oh, in response. So I guess he does have the Path to Exile here. That would make sense because he left it on top and then he sleight of hand to get it into his hand. Where normally you want to wait a turn so you can dig a little deeper with sleight, but like he wanted it right now. Oh, it's a mountain.
He's going to bolt Kiki-Jiki.
Just bolt Kiki-Jiki, okay.
Steve Guillerm, also a pretty cool customer here.
Yeah, very calmly chewing his gum and bolt that creature.
Angel comes in.
Okay, so the copy of the Restoration Angel does come in. It is just going to blink the wall of roots and then attack for 3. Not ideal. That is definitely not the...
Kiki-Jiki in your graveyard is not what you want.
No.
But there are still pieces.
Yeah. Maybe this is why Steve bolted that Kiki-Jiki, or excuse me, the Eternal Witness a while back, just to prevent any Restoration Angel, blink Eternal Witness, and make some like inevitability type things.
Oh yeah.
Step links on turn 1,000.
Yeah.
And is that a Moorland Haunt? It is. Oh, that's interesting. I haven't seen that. He plays a Moorland Haunt first, then says attack. Josh makes the mind read of, he has no hand, I will block. Gives him the 2 thumbs up and says go. Right. Copy this. Oh, you can pay?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, you can pay for X as well?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay, I misunderstood earlier.
Yeah.
Picks up his own card.
So he can convert that.
All right, so now he just goes and gets another Kiki-Jiki.
for one player for the next booster draft. One player for the booster.
I think that Steve is asking the questions that I was asking about, like, what can you pay X?
Show me.
Just about 10 minutes left.
He says, yes, I have another Kiki Jiki.
Yeah.
I will show it to you. I will copy my Restoration Angel, and that is the game. Huh. Yeah, that's what I was thinking earlier when I said that. I was like, wait, can he just do that eventually? And yeah, he did.
10 minutes left to register.
All right, so Josh takes down the first game here
I think this is a tough matchup for Steve without
the early like mulligan, right?
Yeah. I think you got to have a turn one drop. If you don't have Step Links or Delver turn one, I don't think you can win.
I mean, that remand on the quarter calling was almost depressing. Like, it was just like, yeah, all right, you know, because he didn't have any. He's just like, go after that.
Right. I mean, yeah, that remand becomes great if he's laying pressure on you, because it slows you down, and you're going to take 8 more next turn.
Yeah.
But without it, so what do you think we might see from the sideboards?
Let's see here. Josh has got some stuff. Thalia. Thalia's probably pretty decent. Fulminator Mage and Avalanche Rider's probably not. Combust, maybe, but probably not as well. There's not a whole lot. Relics aren't going to come in. Maybe Thalia. Over on Steve's side. Wow. He went pretty deep right off the top here. Moloku, the Clouded Mirror. I don't see that very often. A negate, I'd bring in the negate. It can Quarter Calling or Birthing Pod, both are able to be negated, so that's really good. Smash the Smithereens, yeah, sure. I mean, being able to blow up a pod, even if it is after the fact, is better than not being able to blow it up at all. Same thing with Disenchant.
Right, because, I mean, getting one thing on the pod, the only time one turn pod is going to work is with the Exarch and untapping the pod.
Right.
Otherwise, it's just get the first thing. And then
which is a bummer that they get to activate it once before you kill it, but it's much better than letting them just have like 3 or 4 turns in a row with pod. Celestial Purge kills Kiki-Jiki. If he really wants another answer to just kill it.
What do you think about the Thalia?
Thalia, reasonable against the pod itself. Reasonable. I don't like it. I mean, I think that Josh's deck has the ability to make a lot of mana, and I think that it could just pay. Like, I really feel like the spells that it wants to resolve are just like, you know, I'll just pay the 1.
But I mean, doesn't he just need the turn or 2 that it slows Josh down?
Yeah, that is true.
I mean, I don't know.
No, that is a good point. But yeah, I think I'd bring in like negate, smash the Smithereens, disenchant, maybe dispel again if he was really worried about the Court of Calling. Didn't have a whole lot of ways to interact with it. My game plan, if I'm in Steve's shoes, is I want to be as fast as possible.
Right.
Like, I want to get in there, and I want to put as much heat on Josh as I possibly can, and force him to do something. Like, make him go for a big Court of Calling that I can then negate, or even just remand or whatever.
If he's not taking 3 or 4 damage on turn 2, I think you're in trouble already.
I agree. Josh's late game is much better. Also, Josh's removal's non-existent. I mean, he can't kill these things.
Right.
He can put up walls. Those are good.
That's right.
He can get guys.
Yeah, he can get guys and just kill you beforehand, but it's not like he's going to, like, reach out there and kill your Step Links very often.
All right, so looks like Steve is in the tank on whether or not this is a keep. It looked a little weak. There's a Serum Visions. Oh, he's kept.
There you have it. All right, so this should be a Delver. After we're done shuffling, we'll find out the answer. Delver? Yeah.
Delver, there we go.
And he has the Serum Visions next turn to set up, mana that he needs and set up Delver transformations.
Yeah, if he's not going to transform it now, he's going to set it up so turn 3 is definitely.
But we know that it's not going to transform because it's on camera.
Right.
And it's today.
Yeah.
Obviously not. I mean, we saw somebody resolve like 2 Serum Visions and just not just not get there.
All right, no bolt for the birds here though.
Oh, okay.
Which
that's very important. Turn 2 birthing pod out of Josh is going to be really tough if that happens.
Steve doesn't care about taking the life for the fetch lands because he knows he's going to get it back from Grover the Burn Willows.
Yep.
15 to 19.
Is that a Steam Vents? Yeah.
Yes.
Man, a foil signed one? That looks sweet.
It's pretty shiny. Delver.
Double Delver! Okay, so
I had a plan.
I think if it's me, I'd probably just play 1 Delver and then play the
Serum
Visions. I mean, getting two Delvers transformed next turn is huge. He could just raw. I mean, you know, it happens.
Just raw dog it.
Yeah, it happens too. So it might be correct, but you just give yourself a really good shot to transform 2 of them next turn.
Right. So, but I mean, he can take a shot at getting lucky and doing 6, and then definitely setting up. No.
See, what I do is I play the Serum Visions first, because I might hit a bolt and then Harmonic Sliver. All right, so it's a 3-drop.
Yep.
But that's it, right?
Yep. Yeah,
because that's an end of the battlefield effect, right?
Yeah, there's nothing to blow up.
Yeah.
And Josh Leyton fist pumps when Steve does not.
Yeah,
get
see,
the
I like the other line a little better because you get a card in your hand too. You can hit a burn spell or something. Is that a purge? Yeah, that's a purge. He doesn't want to show him that, but he certainly wouldn't mind it to get 9 power going. Also, Steve has just straight up no attacks here unless he's drawn a bolt.
Good job there by Steve keeping the cards separate.
Yep.
You know, the ones he's looking at, he wants to look back at his hand. Makes clear separation between the 2. So there's.
I was taught that one early. Oh.
See Steve missing a land drop here?
I think he's going to play his other Serum Visions. Yeah, he is. So draw this one.
Scry those.
There is a Lightning Helix, which he can't currently cast.
But he's going to put it on top.
He is, and the other card's going on the bottom. So maybe that was a land on top. And he shipped away the. No, he didn't. All right. Well, plan A.
Yeah, he doesn't really.
369, 369, and hope you lost a life somewhere. That's a Zealous Conscripts, I think. This is a pretty important turn for Josh. He really needs to decide where this game, where he wants to take this game.
Well, I think he's got to look at his hand and figure out where he can take it.
Yeah, I mean, he clearly doesn't have a birthing pod. I think he would have done that.
Yeah.
Last turn.
Yeah, I think even if he drew one here, he'd be snap dropping it.
Attack you.
He's going to attack
well,
with
that is indicative, though, of it getting birthing potted. But it's not. Wall of Roots. Play a land. Say go. All right, so Helix is going to get revealed here. And he has a little bit of arm work to do here as he's transforming not 1, not 2. The judge actually reaches in and helps out 3 Delvers into Insectile Aberrations. Now that's scary.
Yes.
Those things look sweet in foil too. Do you think they do foil damage? All right, Serum Visions.
Be a new mechanic like poison.
Yeah. Deciding what to do with the 2, with his scry opportunities, both on, one on top, one on bottom. And he did draw a card. Was it a land? It was a mountain, which still doesn't let him Helix here, but another one. So this is the 4th Serum Visions that we've seen. He's just digging. Lightning Bolt and a white source. 1 on top, 1 on the bottom. All right, player mountain. Get in. Oh, that's got to feel so good. Bashing with 3 Insectile Aberrations, that is pretty dreamy.
So, but Josh still has 2 turns. Well, Without, no, he's got a lightning helix in his hand. Doesn't
Yeah, he can't cast it right now. If he set up a white mana, then he can. I don't know what's on top and what's bottom. He saw, I think he saw hollowed fountain and a bolt, and I think he put the bolt on the bottom and the fountain on the top. Either way, he could do it the other way and just put the bolt on top and just bolt him instead of helixing him, but he would like to have access to that mana at some point, I'm sure.
Well, the important thing is that for Josh is, well, especially now, at 10 life, he had 2 turns unless there was a bolt or a helix. At 9 life, he doesn't have 2 turns unless he blocks with the bird.
Yep.
Or flashes in a Restoration Angel.
Right, and that's a big one. If he does the Restoration Angel, he can like block with a bird, eat one of them with the Restoration Angel, and only take 3 this turn, reducing Steve's options. All right, Josh attacks with the sliver because you know what? That thing's not blocking. Linvala, Keeper of Silence. Wow, and he's going to play in the same turn a Phantasmal image copying an Insectile Aberration. Now, since it's transformed, it copies that side of it. So Josh now has a 3/4 flyer and a 3/2 flyer on his side. Huh.
How about that?
I think Steve thought okay, so Steve did put the bolt on top, and he's showing him these. Play a land, get in for 3, bolt you, fetch, kill you. 6, fetch land, get a white source, take 2 life.
Josh, I mean,
I like it. Josh said, look, do it, man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to.
What if you're out of white mana?
Yeah, he goes, look, I'm playing a mana base like that. I know.
Right. So, Steve Guillerm takes down game 2. We're down to, we're coming down to the last game of a day of pretty freaking awesome matches.
Awesome. I've loved this stuff. This is why Modern is my favorite non-limited format. I mean, these games have been exciting. We have seen all different types of decks. This is high-level play, not only based on the players, it's also high level because of the cards, right? I mean, like you were talking about earlier, you know, this is one of those formats that has enough cards and enough depth to it that it demands a pretty high skill level. Now, you can kind of tailor your deck to how you want to do that.
Sure.
You know, you can take a deck that's a little bit more straightforward but still powerful, or you can take something like what Luis and Josh are running here where, like, man, I would not want to pick this deck up.
Right.
And just dive in and try it out. And we've seen it shown off pretty well here today, too. Whole lot of awesome stuff.
Yeah, I mean, again, great play. The remarkable play by Fabiano in game 2, the last round.
Very impressed by that. Really thought he was done.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, if you're watching this, if you just tuned in or if you're watching on replay, I would highly suggest going back and watching that one because it was Fabiano versus Luis Scott Vargas, and it was a doozy. And we get a Game 3 decider here for Josh Leyton versus Steve Guillerm. If you're just tuning in, this is round 9 here at GP Columbus. This is Modern. And this matchup, I mean, Steve was able to craft a plan around Delver, and transform them.
Yep.
Because Josh's deck just doesn't reach out and kill creatures. So, you know, he's pretty safe.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind sitting down with a paper and somebody that's really good at math and figuring out whether one Delver Serum Visions or Delver next turn Serum Visions in the long run ends up with more damage.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's not one I could do. I don't think I could do that in my head.
We have 2 spots remaining in the last
I'll give it a shot.
public event. We have 2 spots remaining.
All right, Josh is going to lead off with the Noble Hierarch, one of the 2 in his deck. He's got 4 turn 1 plays. And looks like Steve's just going to say, you know what, probe ya. Josh's hand is Finks, Wall of Omens, Mountain, Birthing Pod, Kiki Jiki. So there's a lot going on there.
Well, he's got one of the combo pieces in his hand.
And he has a way to get to the other one in his hand as well. Misty Rainforest. Man, this guy's foils are sick. I'm kind of a sucker for a foil, and he's got some sweet ones. Right. Untapped Hollowed Fountain. I think I need to go into the judge program just so I can get some of the foils you guys get. Okay.
There's a sleight of hand from Steve Guillerm.
Sheldon hands me a deck with like 90% foils. Can I look at it in a minute?
Steve further trying to craft his hand. Oh, Josh got the Kitchen Finks, Kitchen Finks is an immense card in this game.
Oh, it sure is. It turns off a lot of Steve's creatures, mainly Geist of St. Traff. Like, it really puts a crimp on a Geist.
Yeah, Steve's got to know that he's under pressure right now.
Yeah, I mean, again, though, Steve has kept a hand that hasn't allowed him to get any early action going. I mean, right now, Josh is the beatdown. Like, Josh is like, sure, I'll put you to 12. 11, excuse me, because of the Noble Hierarch. Yeah.
While Roman's drawing him a card.
Steve has to decide if he wants that to resolve, I guess. It does.
For side events for the night, we're looking for 2 more players for a mini master, 2 more players for a legacy.
Josh drops the land and just says go. And Steve has path for the Kitchen Finks. So he did that post-combat, which means that he's either has or was representing something like a leak or a remand or a negate or something, and Josh is going to have picked up on that. I mean, you wouldn't want to just take the damage for no reason.
Right.
I'm going to go ahead and fetch that. Sure.
All right. And Josh says, you know what? I'm going to crack my fetch as well. It's going to save us a little bit of time here.
Jiki and a pod and the 4 card total? Correct.
All right. So this is going to be a key one. What Steve gets to untap and get a draw phase here, a draw step, and like he needs to do something with it.
Yeah, well, he needs to drop a 3rd land.
I mean, thankfully he's got the heat off of him a little bit because the Finks is gone, so at least he's not getting beaten down. Yeah, you just mentioned this too, Sheldon. You know, the turn 3 Delver is not the worst case. I mean, at least he's getting something on the board, but it's certainly not ideal. Does he have that negate in his hand?
It's a Lightning Helix. There's a path. So I doubt we ever see Steve tap out the rest of the game. He's got the path in his hand. He's
got a path and a helix.
He's got to wait for Josh to try to go in order to do something.
I mean, a lot of it's just going to depend on if that Delver can transform and actually start beating down.
Looking for 1 more player for mini master, 1 more player for standard root event.
Birthing Pod for 3. The damage is taken regardless of if it resolves or not, so Steve still can react to this if he chooses. We're cracking a fetch, so it looks like that might be happening here.
All right, on IRC, one of the math experts has answered the question that the the 2 Delvers, Serum Visions, or the 3
Ah.
Delvers deals 18 in the same number of turns. It's exactly the same.
Oh, does it?
That's
But doesn't the second one have to flip? Transform, excuse me. All right, I'll trust them. They're sitting in front of a computer and are probably smarter than I am. All right.
at least mathier.
Yeah. All right, so. No.
Yeah, nothing. The thing worse than a turn 3 Delver is a turn 4 Delver that doesn't transform.
I have played a 1/1. Do you enjoy the 1/1? Lots of lands. I mean, I don't know if Steve's considering Path to Exiling the wall. I mean, it makes the turn sequence one longer, but is that really worth it?
There's nothing to. I mean, Josh has more trouble starting the birthing pod chain.
That's what I mean. So he did block, so I think he's going to helix that and maybe just path the hierarch. Like, if Josh doesn't have any creatures and the birthing pod doesn't do anything,
right?
Maybe he doesn't care about Josh going from 1 to 2, though, and he'll let it live. 2 to 3 seems pretty important, though.
Yeah. Mostly because 3 gets you to 4.
Yeah, but I mean, I was talking with Luis, and 3 also gets you to Deceiver Exarch in their deck, and then, so that gets you to 4 right away.
Right. So Brian Kibler in the background watching this match.
Just had a little chat with Brian.
What went sideways for him today?
I don't hear him talk like this often, but he says, he got pretty unlucky.
Huh?
And I mean, I know that you hear that a lot from people who think that they're a lot better than they are, and they'll say, I got unlucky, but really there was things they could have done. When Kibler says it, I believe him.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw him play against Godenis, and he, Godenis had a few really nice rips in a row there.
Yeah.
He topped 16 with this deck in Lincoln. A similar version. 1, 2, 3, and let's go up to 2. Yeah, so it looks like Steve decided just to go with the step links.
Spell Skite could be important.
What's coming down now? Kiki Jiki. Okay. To start.
Worst case is it takes like 9 lightning bolts to do any damage now.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a protected Kiki Jiki, Path to Exile, and I think that's the second one as well.
Yeah, he's got one in his hand.
So he's going to go, he can just do both right now then. Although Josh can make a copy of Spellskite. Oh. Can Josh just copy the Insect Elaboration here, or?
No, Kiki only copies your stuff.
Oh, it only copies yours.
Yeah. Yeah, he can only copy his own stuff. The way he got Insect Elaboration last time was copying his.
All right, I just got a text message.
Yeah.
From Judge Joe Bono. He's a level 2 from Seattle area. He says IRC people are wrong.
Okay.
You get a free chance to transform all 3 in the following upkeep, which shifts the numbers.
Yeah,
Joe's like the smartest guy I know.
There's percentages in play if you play this. If you don't play the Serum.
Yeah, I don't think it's clear. Either way, but. All right, so
now IRC people are disagreeing with each other.
Say it ain't so. All right, so Kiki Jiki's only your own stuff. Duly noted.
You know who I bet would be able to answer this question to a great degree of certainty and relatively quickly?
Who's that?
Richard Garfield.
Oh, we would have to explain the whole thing to him first, and then he would know instantly. At least that's how I see it. Yeah. All right, Path to Exile. Targeting Kiki Jiki. He just lets it happen. Are you going to search? No more basics in his deck.
Nope.
And he just says go. So Josh decides just to go ahead and let the...
What's up his sleeve here? Oh, he's playing 4 Kiki-Jikis. That's right.
And it's legendary. He might just have another.
Yeah, his hand, where he's holding his hand at an angle that's right off of where we can see it.
Yeah.
There are Josh's erstwhile teammates in the background, watching him.
There is Webb, a.k.a. the Ocho. He was X and 2, I believe, the same deck.
There's a guy in a pink shirt cheering on Steve Guillerm.
Right. Get rid of this. Gonna get a Deceiver Exarch here, I guess. Oh, he's going to get the Eternal Witness. What does he get back? Wall of Omens. Okay.
Is he at the point where he's just digging for answers? I mean, well, not answers, for pieces?
It could be. I mean, the wall does block the step links unless he hits a fetch land. Draws him a card. It's a great thing to pot away next turn. We'll see. We'll see what other tricks he has.
Yeah, I mean, he's got some time. Steve doesn't have that many cards in his hand. As a matter of fact, it might be one. It might be that one path left.
One or two.
Yeah, it's just one.
It's just that one path, and then it looks like he's drawn a Scalding Tarn.
So Josh has got a little time here.
Pretty relevant, though. He's going to be able to, if he wants, he can bowl over the Wall of Omens or force Josh to take 7 here. Trigger, attack.
So 2 cards in his hand. I mean, if there were 2 bolts, it's not lethal. He is going to block. Steve's taking his time. Okay, let me fetch now.
Nine to 13. Oh, that's true.
So Josh is going to take 3, go to 13. He's got Pod. Linvala he just drew.
See another pod there. I think that's a Zealous Conscripts. He might be just trying to set up a kill here. Steve is at 9.
Turner Witness getting in the red zone. We don't see that very often.
No.
Josh making sure his mana is right.
That is Zealous Conscripts. Now it's too late for him to target his birthing pod in the sense that he didn't use it first, so it's not like he can do it in response. So he needs to. He can what?
Yep.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So one of the things about
you probably heard over the intercom that's time in the round.
What is going on with that insectal aberration? Did he steal it? I don't know, but he can pot away his. Okay, so there's the path to exile on his own guy. All right, so he uses the path on his own guy, and now it looks like Josh is going to be able to pot away Eternal Witness, get a Restoration Angel maybe, or...
Blink the Zealous Conscripts. Blink the Zealous Conscripts, untap the Birthing Pod.
Blink this, untap the Birthing Pod, pay it. Sacrifice this, go get a Kiki-Jiki, and make infinite zealous conscripts. Yep. Make a copy of that. It comes into play. Target Kiki-Jiki, make a copy, kill you.
100.
And it looks like Josh has found a way to win this one.
Steve's looking back.
And he says
extends
attack
the
with
hand.
all of them. And you see a little smile out of Josh there. Good for him.
That's it, man. That was a day of magic.